Hello, Social Cam. This is my first Social Cam video. I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about something that has really been bothering me for a long time. But just recently, I read an article about a school, about a group of seniors in the Atlanta area. I think it was Cherokee County down in Cummings, Georgia. I could be wrong. That decided as a senior prank that they would throw a sign, make a sign on a bed sheet or a tarp or something like that, and throw it over the side of the school. And the sign clearly read, in the picture there were a group of white students, so the sign clearly said, "Niggas, we made it, class of 2014." Now understand, I know the weight that word carries, so I have a real hard time using that word, but in order to get my point across, I wanted you to understand that that's what the sign said. I want to say something to the young white people who do not necessarily understand the negative connotations and the weight that word carries. There was a price that was paid for that word, and you didn't pay it, your grandparents didn't pay it, your mom and dad didn't pay it, I didn't pay it. I don't know if I would even be willing to pay it. Emmett Till paid that price. That was a young man that was killed back in the 60s because of his skin color. He was considered to be that word. There were 4 little girls in the basement of the 16th Street Baptist Church in downtown Birmingham, Alabama, that paid that ultimate price because they were considered to be that word. James Byrd, just as recently as 1998, was killed because he was considered to be that word and because of the color of their skin. Medgar Evers died to eliminate that word and to eliminate the negative connotations connected to black people. He paid the price. Martin Luther King paid the price. Listen, young people, that word doesn't mean friendly. There's nothing friendly about that word. So you need to understand that when you call somebody that word, it doesn't mean friend. If you want to call somebody a friend, then say friend. Say that word. Say my friend, my pal, my buddy, something, my homie, whatever you want to say. That's the word that you use. Don't use that word. Mean what you say and say what you mean. That word comes at a price that we as white people did not pay. I also want to say something to the young black people and the young black men and women who, part of the reason that culture, I say that culture, the young white men and young white women think that it's okay to use that word is because you would let them. And I would also challenge you that if you don't know the price that was paid for that word, then you and your white friends get in the car, take a road trip, go to Atlanta, go to Birmingham, go to Montgomery, go to Memphis, Tennessee, and they have civil rights museums there that will make it very clear to you about the price that was paid for that word. That word needs to be eliminated from our vocabulary altogether. And I don't understand. What happened was a young, at some point, I understand that word is in a song. That word may be in some, when things like that come up into pop culture, our celebrities have a responsibility to educate, and they're not doing that. That word is not okay. What is happening when these celebrities who are big and they cross multicultural lines and they cross multiracial lines and they use that word, then it becomes part of our pop culture. But there's something that has gone wrong. What happened is somewhere along the line, a young black man or young black woman met a white man or woman and told him, "You're cool, you're my nigga. You cool, my nigga." And somehow in the crosshairs, white people got this idea that word was okay to use because a black man called me that. You don't have the right to use that word. We didn't pay the price for that word. I want you to educate yourself. You can Google it. You don't even have to take a road trip. You can Google what the words mean and where they came from. There were a lot of people who don't think that word is friendly. So, in the words of Maya Angelou, when you know better, you do better. know better white people.